we can conclude unequivocally that the modern Democrat Party, that the hard radical left, has a high tolerance for other people's misery. Where is the left in this country today with respect to the war on America, the war on civilization, and the Islamo-Nazis? Where's the left? Oh, I don't mean a few voices in the Democrat Party. I mean the aggregate of the Democrat Party. I have heard nothing from the spokes idiot over there at the DNC. I've heard nothing from this caucus and that caucus about what's going on. They're awfully quiet. And where are the media when their own people are decapitated? Journalists are decapitated. Where's the outrage on the pages of the editorials in this country? Is it not amazing the tolerance for inhumanity and genocide and slaughter that the left has? And you wonder why they don't respond to rational arguments when it comes to the size of government and the misery of Obamacare and unemployment. I mean, we have people being slaughtered, women being raped, sold into slavery. The most horrific conduct since the barbarians ruled the earth, which they seek to do again. And while the Islamo-Nazi British puke was sharpening his knife in anticipation of his next video, our president's going off about the minimum wage. Have you ever seen a bigger disconnect in your life? Now, Obama and the Democrats and the hard left and the neo-Confederates and the radical libertarians, they may not think we're at war, but we are at war. It's just that essentially one side is fighting it. And don't give me 120 bombing missions. Wow, look at that. This president should stop everything he's doing, Call Congress back into session now. Speak to the Congress in a joint session of Congress. I said this 2 weeks ago. I'm underscoring it again. And speak to the American people and seek a declaration of war against the Islamo-Nazis. Seek to muscle up our military, not eviscerate it, and sit down with serious men and women in uniform who have serious national security intelligence backgrounds, develop a strategy, look at the Middle East, decide which nations are with us and which aren't, and that could change from the past. Look at Europe. Whoever wants in defending civilized man and woman against subhuman cockroaches. We could call it the Crusade for Liberty against the Islamo-Nazi crusade. We'd have Christians all over the world, Jews all over the world, Hindus all over the world, Sikhs all over the world, every religion, virtually, as well as secularists and atheists. We're not provoking the Islamo-Nazis. The civil society, our existence, the existence of people who don't agree with them, seem to provoke the Islamo-Nazis. I don't want to hear anymore from the hard left and the neo-Confederate right how we are provoking these animals. They are provoking us, and stop putting down our country. And by our country, no, I don't mean this pathetic president and government. I mean our country. Stop putting down the American people. Wow, these tough guys dressed in black, just showing their eyes, with their butcher knives and their steak knives, decapitating men while their hands are tied behind their backs, while they're on their knees. Wow, what brave men. Nothing special forces of the Marines can't make mincemeat out of. Is there any discussion, any serious discussion in this country about permanently banning those who claim to have been American citizens, who leave America and its territories and go overseas and join the armies of our enemy? Any serious discussion of it in Congress so far? Not a word. Well, Mark, Congress is out of session. They can still talk about it. There's a couple. That's it. And this legislation should be drawn up immediately. But no, it won't be. And no, the border won't be secured. President of the United States should tell Congress and the American people at this joint session that we are going to take every step necessary to destroy these animals. That we are going to win this. And that will mean, be honest with the American people, and that will mean that civilians will be killed. Not targeted, but they will be killed. We'll try to keep it to a minimum, but that's the best we can do. Ladies and gentlemen, I even hear Republicans and conservatives and radio hosts and TV commentators say, well, we can't kill civilians. That's not our goal. We don't seek to kill civilians. But we do need to remind ourselves what the word victory means. We haven't had a real victory in a very, very long time. Mark, what about Iraq? Iraq was a temporary victory. Afghanistan will turn out not to be a victory. You have to eviscerate an enemy. You have to destroy an enemy. That's victory. Now, there are two ways to do it: militarily and from within. As in the Soviet Union, we didn't use direct military power, but we used military power, but it fell from within. Most of these other countries will not. They will not, because of a bunch of circumstances I don't need to get into right now. I mean, my greatest concern now is the growing tolerance and passivity, not with the American people, with the ruling class and the phony elite, for terrorism, which explains why they won't secure the border, which explains why they're slashing the military in the face of this threat. The President of the United States has flown off to Europe for a NATO meeting. Good. He didn't even make a statement about the killing, the slaughter, the gutting, in essence, of another American. Not a word. His spokesidiot, John Not So Earnest, said, "We have enormous sympathy for the family and our prayers are with them." They don't want your sympathy and prayers, you idiot. What we want is a commander-in-chief. What we want is victory. What we want is to see more of them die. And I'm serious. This is now a battle over who dies and who lives. And if we're serious about living, if we're serious about being free, if we're serious about our safety here and there, well, then we need to do something about it. And so far, we're not doing a hell of a lot.